This is question number 2 of October 2024 paper, Unit 1. Let's get started. During the development of a human, the structure of hemoglobin changes. In the developing fetus, the main oxygen-carrying molecule is fetal hemoglobin. Towards the end of fetal development, fetal hemoglobin is replaced by adult forms of hemoglobin. Blood may contain 5.3 million red blood cells in 1 mm³ of blood. 1 red blood cell contains 270 million hemoglobin molecules. Calculate the number of hemoglobin molecules in 1 mm³ of blood. Express your answer in standard form. So 5.3 million red blood cells in 1 mm³ of blood. So that is, so we have to multiply these two values first to get the answer. So if you write it in more standard form, it will be 1.4 into 10 to the power 15. Okay, just write it in perfect standard form. So this is the final answer. Which of the following statement about the structure of hemoglobin are correct? It is a fibrous protein. It has quaternary structure. It contains a non-protein heme group. So, is hemoglobin a fibrous protein? No, it is a globular protein. Does it has a quaternary structure? It has a quaternary structure. Yeah, it is true. It has a quaternary structure. Each heme group, it is made up of 2 alpha and 2 beta polypeptide chains, like this. Like if you see closely or in a microscope, it gives a quaternary shape. Okay, and with each group, like each heme group, it contains an iron atoms that binds to oxygen. Does it contain a non-protein heme group? Yes, it contains a non-protein heme group, and that is iron. Okay, so the answer, let's say the answer, it's 2 and 3. I mean the option D. And let's move on to the next question. The graph shows the changes for 3 types of hemoglobin subunits present during each stage of development: alpha subunit, beta, and gamma subunit. Okay, let's see the graph. Fetal development, embryonic development, and baby is after the birth. Percentage of subunit present, and this is alpha, beta, and gamma. Stages of development we can say before. Okay. Let's see the question. Describe the changes in this type of subunits present during each stage of development. The question basically says that you need to see the diagram and you need to describe the changes in these types of subunits present during each stage of development. So this is a very easy question. It says describe the changes that you see in this diagram. So you just have to describe the changes of alpha, beta, and gamma. That's it. So let's see the answer. Alpha subunit increases during embryonic development and then remain constant. So it increases during embryonic development and it remains constant. Beta subunit increases throughout embryonic development and fetal development and in the baby and then leaves off. This is beta. It increases through embryonic, fetal, and when the baby is born, it increases, and it remains constant. Like it stops increasing, it becomes constant. Gamma subunit increases during embryonic development and then falls during fetal development and in baby, and then leaves off. It means that the gamma subunit increases during the embryonic development. Okay, it increases during the embryonic development, then it starts to decrease slowly. It remains like starts to decrease in the fetal development, and then from the fetal development last, it starts to decrease, and just it falls when the after the birth of the baby. Let's see the next question. The oxygen affinity of fetal hemoglobin is different from adult hemoglobin. Explain why this difference ensures the fetal obtains enough oxygen during development. The oxygen affinity of the fetal is more, like it's different from adult hemoglobin. It is more because the fetal is inside a human body, right? It's inside its mother, and mother's blood also contain the same hemoglobin and iron. So if the affinity of the hemoglobin in the baby is not higher, then it cannot attract oxygen to it. Like the oxygen won't bind to it. So fetal hemoglobin has higher affinity than adult, so that oxygen will leave the adult hemoglobin and bind to fetal hemoglobin at the same partial pressure of oxygen, because there is no difference in partial pressure in that system. Okay, in that system, so the affinity of the hemoglobin is more in fetal than in the mother's body. This is the end of question 2.